you so much for tuning in. Now, as you guys know, Gaming Reborn is kind of our thing. It's what we stand for. And today you're going to witness probably the biggest step that we've ever taken toward accomplishing our mission. So when we first started Covenant, our mission was kind of a lofty goal, but our mission was Gaming Reborn. This is something that was very important to us. And we wanted to change the industry a little bit and maybe do some things that hadn't been done before and change the way that games were supported. And as you can see, that led us to do a multitude of different things for gaming over the last couple of years that we've been involved. Whether it's the Monster Apocalypse tutorial or the Spoils tutorial, all the Gen Con coverage, Monday Night Monster tournaments, just having a store that has really good prices and customer service, things that need to happen in this industry, the support that needs to happen. And while all those things are great, I just want to take a second to recognize and let you guys know that we recognize we could not do this without your support. Every one of your support has been critical in our mission of Gaming Reborn. And so whether it's just viewing our blogs on a day-to-day basis, whether it's signing up to the community site and posting your own stuff, whether it's making a few purchases from our store, or just sending us an email and saying, hey, we really like what you guys are doing, all of those things combine to allow us to do what we've done now, which is present you guys with the next step. But first, let's just take a look real quick at some of the things that you've helped us accomplish with your support.
The three main things we wanted to accomplish with Covenant from the beginning were, number one, quality and consistent content. This includes coverage of Gen Con, blogs, news, all that kind of stuff. I'll never forget, in the first 30 days of our site, we had 30 unique visitors, and we couldn't be more happy. One unique visitor every day. And in the past 30 days, we've actually had over 20,000 unique visitors, which is really exciting.
And it's just so strange and so interesting to see what it's been like to go from having so few uniques and being excited to having tons of uniques and still being just as excited and wanting to go further and wanting to push this farther than we ever have before.
The second thing we really wanted to accomplish was making it easier for players to get into and stay involved with their favorite games.
So what we did was we decided to be the cheapest option, and not only that, but to work with people in a way that was pleasant and enjoyable, which I think is crucial for any game to be successful. You have to have a community of people behind it, and the best way to build a community is just being friendly. And that was really easy for us to do, and it was really easy to do with all the people who have visited our site because everybody's just really cool. And then we started thinking about ways that we could actually push this even further.
We started making products like the Monster Apocalypse tutorial for new players, and then we came out with the Army Pack. Now, I think we've blown through the first 100 copies that we printed of the Monster Apocalypse tutorial, and we introduced the Monster Apocalypse Army Pack in June. Since we introduced that, we've added a new player to the Monster Apocalypse community every 2 days.
So we have the Army Pack, we have the Faction Pack, we have singles, and these things, aside from, let's be honest, ways for us to continue doing what we're doing by your purchases. But on top of that, it was doing it in a way that not only benefits us on a business standpoint, but also definitely benefits you as consumers and also the games themselves. Because if a game doesn't have players, it's not going to go anywhere.
The third thing we really wanted to accomplish was providing a venue for players to stay excited about their favorite games. This came in the form of Monday Night Monster and also MonCon. MonCon 2010 was amazing. We had 35 great players come from across the country, over 15 states.
And just to see so many people from so many different places come together under the roof of one game that we all enjoy and all love, and seeing everybody be so friendly and so nice to one another, and just having a wonderful weekend of gaming.
And we had a blast. We had a Masters, we had people from Privateer show up.
It was just so beautiful to see, and it's something that strengthened our resolve in exactly what we're doing, which is providing opportunities for people to connect. I mean, this is what gaming is about. We oftentimes don't think about gaming in this way. We don't think about tabletop gaming, any kind of gaming, in the way that it truly is a purely social activity. It's a reason to get together and hang out with each other. And I think that's what you saw at MonCon. That's what I saw at MonCon. And I can't wait for MonCon 2011, let me tell you guys.
Those same 35 people are going to show up, and we're going to have a ton more people.
It's going to be a big deal.
Above and beyond the three things I just mentioned, I find more and more that the one thing that connects all of this is an amazing community. MonCon was great because of the people that were there. These products work because you guys share them with your friends, you guys tell them about the Army Pack, and you guys introduce them to these amazing games. I can't say how much I appreciate the communities we've been a part of and helped build over the years.
I think we're going to make a big impact on this industry, and I think as long as you guys are behind us, we can do whatever you need.
We could talk about the things that we have done all day long, but let's go ahead and get to the things that we're here for.
The spoils. This is a game that is elegant, it's flavorful, it's, the best way for me to describe it, as I have many times, is perfection.
Tournaments are going on, promos are going out, and the new set's released. And it's time that we amped up our coverage of that.
To celebrate that, here's a little update.
I know Robert hasn't slept much over the past 2 or 3 weeks because he's been ruthlessly adding every card to the Team Covenant Wiki from the Spoils TCG.
So you can go on there, you can look at every single card, you can check out the flavor of the game, you can look at the trades, you can look at the cards that you see at the tournaments, and you have an extremely valuable resource available to you. What the Monsterpocalypse Wiki did for Monsterpocalypse in educating the player base and making it easy to access information that was necessary, the Spoils in our wiki is going to do the exact same thing. And that's something that's big.
When we heard that the Spoils was coming back after Arcane Tinman purchased it, we got really excited. We started drawing up ways that we could not just make a Spoils tutorial, but make one that went beyond even what we did for Monsterpocalypse, which was a pretty big deal.
It was a big deal for new players to get involved. We've sold a lot of those tutorials, and a lot of players have written us talking about how easy it was for them to enter the world of Monsterpocalypse. And that is our goal, that's our mission. And we really are just thrilled that we're able to help players get into these games. And along that process, we were thinking, how can we not only do what we did with the Monsterpocalypse tutorial, but do it better, and do it in a way that is going to accomplish our goals in greater ways. And so, of course, the natural inclination was, we got to make it digital. We got to make it easy to access, immediate access to the information that the players want.
And so we knew from the get-go that we wanted it to look good and be really clear, and we also wanted it to be a digital download. We continued to work with Arcane Tinman after the release of the tutorial, and while there have been a ton of players learn how to play from the digital download, we wanted to go a step further.
Now, coming out with a digital version of the Spoils tutorial rather than a package deal is a great first step, and it's a step that we needed to take, and one that we'll be taking with our future tutorials. But I think we can go even further than that, and that's what we've done. We talked to Arcane Tinman, we've gotten some things worked out, and now instead of having a $10 digital download, we're going to have the Spoils tutorial available for free on YouTube. It's going to be a string of YouTube videos with a beautiful menu, navigation screen where you'll be able to get to anything that you need. And on top of that, we're going to drop the price down for our full digital download to $5.
So for all of you that paid $10, you might be thinking, where'd my $5 go? We're going to be refunding all of those purchases $5, so you don't have anything to worry about.
But there's even something newer than these games, and that is the addition of a role-playing game to the Covenant family. Now, we have a card game, which we think is brilliant. We have a tabletop miniatures game, which we think is excellent, brilliant. Why not have a role-playing game that is exactly what we want out of a role-playing game? It also is brilliant. And so we've talked with the makers of Burning Wheel, and we've gotten a deal worked out where Burning Wheel is now in our store. We have the character burner and the normal revised edition core rulebook. Everything you need to start playing, $24.95. The books are beautiful, the world's wonderful. It's exactly what you'd come to expect from a product that we're going to be offering you on the Covenant store. Let me tell you, the Burning Wheel is the first role-playing game that does everything right in my book. Everything else, I always have some problems, I have some rules I want to change, I have some things I wish were different. The Burning Wheel, I flip. Every single new page that I flip to introduces something that I am even more excited about. I say, yes, this is what I've been waiting for. This is what role-playing is all about. It's story-driven. It's all about the characters being the central protagonists of the adventures. The game master, the GM, and the players work together to tell these epic stories, and it's all about the role playing. You know, I can't tell you how many times I've sat down and rolled thousands of dice in one gaming session just to figure out a result, or whether I hit the ogre or not, or how many hit points did I lose. It's not like that in the Burning Wheel. While combat is an exciting part of it, the main thing revolves around your characters and their beliefs. Now, these beliefs are kind of the central driving point for the Burning Wheel. Every character comes with 3 beliefs that they have to essentially plot out at the beginning of the campaign. Beliefs about how the world is, or who the people in their life are, what these people mean to them. And every character brings this set of beliefs to the table. And then what does the Game Master do? What does the GM do? Well, the GM is in a unique position to create a compelling story by challenging these characters' beliefs. Any belief that is put on the table is basically a player saying, I dare you to test me on this. And once that player is tested, the game evolves, it becomes dramatic, and you have conflicts that aren't driven necessarily by, kobolds with bow and arrows, but by real personal human drama. The kind that we go and see the movies, the kind that we watch, movies and read good books about. Let's face it, it's the most fun I've had role-playing in my entire career. We've been through a lot of role-playing games. That's kind of the story. We've been through Dungeons & Dragons and GURPS and Top Secret SI even back in the day, and Deadlands. And these things all offer great things to role-playing. But the Burning Wheel is the single most drastic improvement over the old system of role-playing that has ever been done. It's a huge step forward, and as Covenant takes a step forward, we're going to take the Burning Wheel with us, because we feel like it's the best way to enter into this exciting world of role-playing games. So as we move into this new era of Covenant, now we have a new game in the Burning Wheel. We have an old game that was once gone and is now revived in the Spoils. And we have our classic standby game, Monster Apocalypse, our love, one of our favorite games ever. We have these 3 games that are, I feel like, the pinnacle of their genre. We have the best card game, we have the best miniatures game, and now we have the best role-playing game. But there's something even more exciting happening today.
Tabletop games have been around for thousands of years, and we thought it was time for tabletop games to meet the 21st century.